Donald Trump just wrapped up a disastrous press conference in the White House at the exact same moment that we learned that the Department of Defense is indeed sending active duty Marines into Los Angeles and that they're currently working through the rules of engagement against the people of Los Angeles. Let me show you what went down in this disastrous press conference. Donald Trump was asked, "What crime are you going to try to arrest the California governor Gavin Newsom for?" And Donald Trump responds, "He ran for governor. That's the basis." Play this clip.
Just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten...
What crime has Governor Newsom committed?
A crime has he committed? I think his primary crime is running for governor because he's done such a bad job. What he's done to that state is like what Biden did to this country. And that's pretty bad. It's the wrong philosophy. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants, many of them prisoners. They're taking up your health care. They're taking up your space in schools. They're taking up your hospital. And in many cases, they're criminals. And we have to do something about it. And we're doing something about it. I want to thank the incredible patriots of ICE and Tom Homan, who has been incredible, and Kristi Noem, likewise incredible. The job they're doing. And it's like an unforced error. There was no reason for this. 21 million people were allowed into our country, and many of those people were criminals. And it's a shame. It's a shame. But we're getting them out. And I will say, I think it's a 95-5 issue.
To which California Governor Gavin Newsom responded, "Donald Trump admits he will arrest a sitting governor simply because he ran for office." Then you have Peter Doocy on Fox ask Donald Trump, "Are you worried?" It's a stupid question. "Are you worried that you're giving California Governor Newsom all of this great publicity and that it's going to help him politically?" And then Donald Trump makes the case for arresting California Governor Gavin Newsom. The fact that I even have to utter that sentence in the United States of America is chilling. Play this clip.
Job. I guarantee you that. All right, please, Peter.
Mr. President, have you gotten an update from your negotiating?
Thank you, President Trump. So it seems like Gavin Newsom likes the attention that he's getting right now from you.
Yeah, I think
it seems like he does. If you look at recent history, somebody who was running for president, you, who got arrested and had a mugshot, you could make the argument that politically that wound up helping you. Are you worried at all at this moment that talking about him getting arrested could be helpful to his political prospects? Because a lot of people think he wants to be sitting right where you are.
Well, in my case, it was a witch hunt and everybody knew it. And I was able to explain that during the process. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And it was a total witch hunt. It's proven to be a witch hunt. And you see what's happened. In his case, it really is very obvious. You look at what's happened between the fires, I could name 10 things right now. We talk about the trains. We talk about all of the costs in California. You talk about all of the people that are flowing and destroying life for everyone else. So, no, I don't think it's going to help him. I think it's actually very bad for him.
A reporter then asked Donald Trump, at the very same moment that we learn Marines are indeed being deployed, are you going to deploy Marines in California? Trump says, "We'll see what happens," as though this is some game that you're sending the Marines against the people of Los Angeles and you're working on rules of engagement on when to shoot to kill. Play this clip.
Right. Sort of an amazing thing, isn't it, though? We've gone backwards. On Wall Street, they haven't done that. If Goldman Sachs was like that, you wouldn't have Goldman Sachs anymore. Yeah, please.
To address the situation in Los Angeles? Are you going to deploy Marines in California?
We'll see what happens. I mean, I think we have it very well under control. I think it would have been a very bad situation. It was heading in the wrong direction. It's now heading in the right direction. And we hope to have the support of Gavin, because Gavin's the big beneficiary as we straighten out his problems. I mean,
Then Donald Trump talks about why he wants to unilaterally destroy high-speed rail in California, which employs tens of thousands of people in California. And then Trump said, because you can fly to California for $2. Really? You think you can fly for $2, Donald? Not everybody has private jets. Okay, play this clip.
His state is a mess. And I'd like to get somebody involved in the rail because, look, personally, it should have never been built because you can fly there for $2. And what are you doing? They're doing that. You could drive. You could do lots of different things. You know, if
Donald Trump then talks about the military parade. Let's play it.
But it was time to celebrate, and that's what we're doing. So it's on June 14th, and it's going to be a parade the likes of which I don't know if we've ever had a parade like that. It's going to be incredible. We have even though it's the Army, we have a lot of those Army airplanes flying over the top, and we have tanks all over the place, and we have thousands and thousands of soldiers going to bravely march down the streets. It's going to be a beautiful day, I think. And
then after talking about the military parade, Donald Trump randomly talks about how Hitler gave a speech at the Eiffel Tower, and Trump seemed to be citing Hitler positively here. Play this clip.
Picking up for Russia. No, they lost 51 million people. And, you know, can't forget that. But France was celebrating. And as you know, Hitler made a speech at the Eiffel Tower. But when I spoke to President Macron, he said, oh, we are celebrating the great victory of World War II. And I think that's great.
Then Donald Trump lies and claims that actually the cost for this military parade is coming from lots of private donations, and he lies and pretends that he's paying for it out of his pocket. Let's play this clip.
No, I think it's time that we celebrate. And I sort of have to laugh at these people. Well, you know, you're going to spend a lot of money. A lot of that money is being paid for by me and people that make donations. I don't know if you know that. A lot of it won't even come out of the military. I think I can say that, Susie, right? We have people putting up money to do it. Not that it's necessary, because I think it's a great expenditure. We have mini tanks. We have all sorts of new ones and very old ones, old from World War I and World War II. It's really a celebration of the Army. So the Army is a year older than the country. So next year we celebrate 250 years, but we're celebrating the Army on Flag Day. And it's not my birthday. It is my birthday, but I'm not celebrating my birthday. I'm celebrating Flag Day. It happens to be the same day, so I take a little heat.
As one account notes, imagine if intrepid journalists were to check up on this insane lie. Well, we're checking up on it as well. And even the estimate right now that's given about how much taxpayers are going to have to pay $45 million plus whatever the damages are going to be cost. I don't believe it's anywhere near 45 million. My view is it's going to be closer to 500 million to $1 billion. I mean, you're bringing in hundreds or thousands of tanks and missiles and troops, and you're shutting down a city, and you're going to be shutting down an airport. How could that only be $45 million? Okay, that makes zero sense to me. I think they're downplaying the number because they know that the real number is an egregious number. And I think they're hiding the data by not counting certain costs, and they're shifting the costs to agencies and departments. That's my view of what they're doing. Then Donald Trump lies again and claims that he sent billions of gallons of water to Los Angeles. Thanks to him, that's why the fires were dealt with. And again, Trump is lying. Trump had the Army Corps of Engineers release like billions of gallons of water to the wrong area after the fire was 100% contained, releasing water from dams that were needed in the summer for farmers that were nowhere near southern Los Angeles or Southern California. Play this clip.
Work out that way. We'll soon find out. Yeah, please.
When you were talking about unrest in American cities, you said, quote, "We have to go by the laws. We can't call in the National Guard unless we're requested by a governor." What changed now? Why is this situation different to not consult with Governor Newsom about this?
Well, the biggest change from that statement is we have an incompetent governor. So I talked about governors, but I didn't talk about he's an incompetent governor. Look at the job he's doing in California. He's destroying one of our great states. And if I didn't get involved, if we didn't bring the Guard in, and we would bring more in if we needed it, because we have to make sure there's going to be law and order. You had a disaster happening. And they now admit it was a disaster. I watched the chief yesterday, who's a good man, by the way. And he said, well, we're lucky we did this because they were overwhelmed. You saw what was happening. So we did the right thing. Everybody agrees to that. But you have a governor who let the city burn down, didn't want water to be sent down to him. I sent billions of gallons of water. I wanted to do it in the first term. He wouldn't do it over, I don't know, they have environmental reasons, but there were no environmental reasons. I think it's just a political philosophy. But it's lucky for the people in Los Angeles and in California that we did what we did. We got it just in time. It's still simmering a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, please.
Have you gotten?
Then Donald Trump lies and says that the country under former President Biden was run by an auto pen and law enforcement needs to look into the auto pen issue. Play this clip.
Our country was abused badly by a very incompetent person and a group of people that weren't incompetent, but they were radical left lunatics. And they ran the country with an auto pen. And I hope that law enforcement's looking at that very seriously. That's like a takeover of our country in a certain way, because this guy had no idea what he was doing. You saw that during the debate. You saw that in other cases. He had no idea. I saw it years ago. By the way, 40 years ago, he was bad 40 years ago. We're not just talking about, and they always like to say age, but it's not age. I know people 88, 89, 92. Bernie Marcus, who just passed away, was 95. I spoke to him a year before. He was 100%. It's not age. It's something else. But whatever it is, you can't have that in this country. The damage he's done to this country is unbelievable. But the good news is we've got much of it fixed already, and the rest of it will happen. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
As noted, a full Marine battalion, or around 500 Marines based out of 29 Palms in California, have been mobilized for Los Angeles. They're sending the Marines into Los Angeles. After federalizing National Guard troops, they are trying to escalate and provoke war in the United States. That's what they're doing. It's not hyperbolic. Those are the facts. Donald Trump then continues to wish Elon Musk well, noticeably after Elon Musk says that he's aware that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files and the Epstein list. We know that Trump's connected to Epstein based on the documents that have already been released in past court cases. Play this clip.
Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well, actually. Yeah.
Trump says that he hopes Elon was not doing drugs. Play this clip.
I didn't see a lot of physicality there.
And there was this New York Times report that he did not want to talk about, Elon Musk, that alleged that he, towards the end of his time in the White House, was blurring the lines between recreational use of drugs and medicinal. Do you think he ever had drugs here at the White House?
I really don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. Look, I wish him well. You understand. We had a good relationship, and I just wish him well. Very well, actually. Yeah.
And then you had this North Korean-like closing of this press conference where Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson, said the following.
Very much.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your bold, visionary leadership. It is the key to all of this great success that we are achieving. And the one big, beautiful bill, it is not an overstatement to say it will be one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in the history of Congress. There's a lot in here. And by extension, or I would say it is an extension of the figure who I believe will be the most consequential president of the modern era, if not all American history, and that's the gentleman sitting to my left. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful statement. Huh?
Well,
I like him too.
Yeah.
And then one of the other top leaders in the MAGA Republican House of Representatives, Jason Smith, went full North Korea. Play this clip.
First, start off by thanking you for your leadership, your vision, your commitment to workers and families throughout this country. The one big, beautiful bill would not have been possible without you. And it delivers the largest tax cut in U.S. history, the largest mandatory spending cuts in U.S. history, the most significant welfare reforms in U.S. history, and the largest one-time investment in border security. So it's things to be extremely proud about.
Want to give a shout out to our friends at Snapstream. They help with those clips. It's the tool we use to clip from the cable networks or from C-SPAN or whatever. Our researcher Asen does a great job at it. Aaron Rupert does a great job at it. Shout out to the folks at Snapstream. There's a link if you want to know how we clip. Just click the link in the description below about Snapstream. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.